Slovenia. This could be your way of green escape.
Dragi gospodje, dober dan in dobrodošli tretji tekmovalni dan FIS svetovnega prvenstva v alpskem smučanju za smučarje invalide je pred nami. Slalom za moške po včerajšnjem super zanimivem slalomu danes torej še zadnja moška disciplina tega prvenstva na sporedu. Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the third competition day of the FIS Alpine World Ski Championships in Maribor, Slovenia for the year 2025. Slalom for the men's is the last.
Very good morning, everybody. Welcome along to Maribor in Slovenia for this, the third day of action at the FIS Alpine World Ski Championships. And the men, after their giant slalom only yesterday, back in action for the slalom. Run one coming your way very, very shortly. Let's have a look at the course profile. The Habakkuk course, same as yesterday. So the slalom, obviously a shorter run, but more gates, 68 gates, 66 turning gates. Compare that to yesterday's giant slalom, which had 43 gates and 42 turning gates. So it gives you an idea of the number of gates. 50% more weather, well, overcast, cloudy, and the temperature above freezing, but because we are doing the most technical of the disciplines, that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
68 gates and 66 directions. Start at 780 meters, finish 525 meters, vertical drop 185 meters. Competition jury technical delegate Paul Kreiner, FIS race director Anja Skutel, chief of the race Maribor and referee Thomas Frey. Še nekaj podatkov o progi, preden začnemo. Imenuje se seveda Habakkuk, štart na višini 780 metrov, cilj na višini 595 metrov, višinska razlika 85 metrov. Imamo 68 vrat, od tega 66 spremen smeri. Progo pa je postavil kanadski trener Fred Delonat-Champ. In ja, začnemo kmalu. Še živijo tekmovanja, tehnični dodatek Paul Kreiner, direktorica tekmovanja Anja Skutel, vodja tekmovanja Marko Taj in glavni sodnik Thomas Frey.
Well, this is the last bit of action for the men. This is the 17th edition of the Alpine World Ski Championships, originally held every 4 years between 1972 and 2004. Since 2009, it's every 2 years. Maribor, the second largest city in Slovenia, and the ski resort Maribor Pohorea, just to the south of the city, used to host the Alpine Women's World Cup between 1964 and 2019, but with the snow becoming less and less sure, that event has moved to Kranjska Gora, and the snow has played havoc with this schedule. No downhill, Super G or combined. 3 categories for you today: men's vision impaired, then standing, and then the sitting category. We start with the vision impaired. 12 athletes racing in this one. There are, when we go to the standing 30, then 26 in the sitting. Defending champion is Giacomo Bertagnoli. He's also the Paralympic champion. And he was the main man yesterday as well, taking the giant slalom. So Bertagnoli, the Italian, looking for the double here in Maribor. Busy schedule as always with the most technical of the events, and if you're joining us for the very first time, but I'm sure you know this already, the second run will be run in reverse order with the quickest athlete skiing last, just to ramp up the excitement as we try and decide the destination of these medals. Last moments at the top of the hill, always nerve-wracking. And the first racer will be getting us underway very shortly. You can see the cloud at the top is quite a lot thicker than it is at the bottom, but as I mentioned, as it is the technical discipline of slalom, that will not play a role or a problem for these athletes who will be used to it. Now, getting us underway, Tadeusz Kritz and his guide Iva Krizova get the men's slalom visually impaired underway, and this is always fascinating to watch, the teamwork between guide and athlete on this, which has to be the hardest of the disciplines. And this is a decent start for Kritz. Always difficult to work out the timing on the first run. Kritz 8th in the giant slalom yesterday. And you see the factor time on the bottom right of your screen. So the time that you see running just slightly slower than normal. And it will change depending on which class the athlete is racing in across the 3 different categories. Second time split. The athlete and guide might just be able to pick up the microphones on the guide, but good rhythm here from Kritz and the athlete from Czechia, a couple of gates from home. Goes over the guide, just putting on a little bit of a speed check. And over the line, 1:10.4. The opening time for us. Giacomo Bertagnoli and his guide Andrea Ravelli, the next to go. And Bertagnoli flying at the start of this. He's had a good season. He won the second of 2 slalom races in Teen, and he won 2 of the 3 slalom races in Feldberg before the athletes arrived here in Maribor. So very much the man to beat. Won the giant slalom yesterday, the defending champion, the Paralympic slalom champion, and he's taken huge chunks out of Kritz's time, 6.39 faster than our opening athlete, racing in the same class, so the same factor on the time. Bertagnoli and Ravelli, well, this is absolute brilliance. They've been together since 2019, and it shows as Bertagnoli knocks 10.71 seconds off Kritz's time. No wonder there's a fist bump in the middle. Miroslav Haras of Slovakia, the next to go. Haras, well, Super Combined Paralympic champion in 2018. He was a silver medalist in downhill in 2014. World champion in Super Combined in 15, and he's got plenty of other podiums as well to go with that. Carried the flag for his nation at the Paralympic Games in Beijing. 40.62 is the next split. And Harris is behind. You can see the timing split, the red line on the snow, 5.77. Remember, it's the combined times of both runs. So first of all, you've got to try and stay as close as possible to those in front of you, and then you just never know what can happen in the second run. If you can lay down a quick time, the pressure might tell. But Haros and Hudik Nico into second spot for the time being, 8.42 off the time of Bertagnoli.
8 seconds, 42 behind
Johannes
Nico
Aigner
Haus
and
Maroš.
Nico Herbert, the next to go. Now on FIS points, Aigner is the favourite for this one, and he's already 6/10 off the pace at the first split this season. Aigner won the first of the 2 races in team, the first of the 3 races in Fellberg, and he's podiumed in all the others. Second in the second of the team, and then second and third. 1, 2, 3 in Fellberg's 1, 2, 3 races. Historic moment, that one for Fellberg. First time Germany had hosted a para-alpine event. And crossing the line. We'll get confirmation of that time. The clock not stopping. But quickly on, Kalle Eriksson now of Canada. Now Eriksson, who is on good form. He was second yesterday in the giant slalom, and a bit of an unknown factor, hasn't raced slalom on the World Cup, but he's had plenty of success in giant slalom. Has 6 medals so far on the World Cup. When I say hasn't raced slalom this season, had a first World Cup victory on the 1st of February in slalom. And well, there it says Aigner. Yeah, Aigner finding some time by 0.58. Eriksson into third. He was leading after the first run yesterday, ended up second. Now this is Neil Simpson of Great Britain with Rob Poth. And Simpson, he has a quick start. He has 0.57 on Aigner at the first split. Good work here from Simpson. His first World Cup podium came in here in Slovenia in Kranjska Gora when he was third in a slalom race back in 2020. But Simpson is absolutely flying here, 1.72 seconds quicker than Aigner. And Aigner's time under real pressure. Simpson 59.11 to give himself a first run lead, and he is outside, so losing quite a bit of time in the bottom section, but still very much in touch, 0.91 off the pace. Michał Golas of Poland and his guide Kasper Walas. Golas podiumed in team this season on the World Cup, second and third in slalom, and won a FIS slalom in December. His guide Kasper had a season racing on the FIS Tour in Poland. He's 24 years of age, but like Simpson before him, has time on Aigner, but it's on this lower part that Aigner excelled. And Golas keeping in very close contact with his guide, and this is good work, but again another who loses a big chunk of time on the bottom into 5th place for the time being. Next out on course is Alexander Rowan of Germany and his guide Thomas Wilke. Rowan took up the sport at the start of 2022 when he wrote to a coach of the German national team, got involved in a trial in April of 2022, became national German champion with Wilke. Now he's aiming for the Paras next year, but a young racer who is starting out on his para-alpine career. 7.86 seconds off the pace. Oh, and he's missed the gate and can go back up. Good awareness from the guide. And they're back in the rhythm now. With Rowan, I'm afraid the damage done with that missed gate. And across the line, and he will finish a long way off the pace, 25, nearly 25 seconds behind. Hassan de la Place of France on course now with Roy Picard, his guide, and 2.02 off the pace at the first split. The second split finds that gap increasing to 4.4. The world champion in downhill Super G and Super Combined in Lillehammer also competed in the T12 200 and 400 at the London Summer Paralympic Games. Took up para skiing in 2016. And De La Place sliding into 7th for the time being, 10.01 off the pace. Marek Kubaka of Slovakia with Maria Sotofikova, his guide. And Kubaka AS1 class, which means he is skiing with blacked out goggles, which is why you can hear the speaker on the back of the guide. So impressive. Kubaka, who's been to what, 5 Paralympic Winter Games, world champion in giant slalom in 2019. But a real beacon for para Alpine skiing in his home country. Now this is another fantastic run from Marek Kubaka and his guide Maria Sotovikova. And he's just following that sound down the hill. You'll notice there's no sound in the finish area. The DJ, the compare, turned off for the VI racers. And Kubaka, another great run for him. Slides into 9th for the time being.
Kubaka completely balanced here on 9th place, 23.18. Is he behind the devätte meester på Paunomasliitti?
Bib number 11 from Belgium, Maximilian Seeger, and his guide Jeremy Mesta. Seeger, 11th in the giant slalom yesterday. No results for him on the World Cup in slalom this season. But some good opening turns by the Belgian pair. .86 off at the first split. So you got the penultimate racer in the VI category. Through this diagonal, vertically straight pattern of gates. 42.54 the next split, and Seeger will be outside it by 10.4 seconds. Rowan, after that error, sits in 10th. But can Seeger get himself into 7th or 8th position? Oh, it's gone away. It's going to slide into 9th or 10th or 11th, I think. No, he slides into 9th. Good work from Seeger. The last of the racers in the VI category is Patrick Hetma and Miroslav Mikala of Czechia. Now this pair 12th in the giant slalom yesterday, and he is the oldest of the competitors in the VI category. Mikala guiding Hetma beautifully down this opening pattern of gates. Been to 3 Paralympic Winter Games. 8th was his best result there in slalom in 2014 and 2018. Really good work from Hetma and Mikala, and they will finish the first run in 12th position, 29.96 off the pace for Patrick Hetma and Miroslav Mikala. So it's Johannes Aigner who leads the way with Nico Habel. Bertagnoli is in second, with Neil Simpson of Great Britain in third. But Aigner, really strong finish to the run. So confirmation then of the standings after the first run of the men's vision impaired. Johannes Aigner from Bertagnoli, the defending champion, with Neil Simpson of Great Britain in third. Those three within a second of each other. But it will be Patrick Hetma who will get run 2 underway a little later on today. Coming up, we have the men standing run 1. Let's have a look at the runners and riders in this one. 30 of them, and Luca Pallet is going to get us underway. Arthur Boucher, red hot favourite here. He goes with bib number 21, the 9th out of the start hut. Boucher has won 5 from 5 on the World Cup this year. France clean swept the podium back in 2023. And Luca Pallet in the start hut. Luca Pallet gets the men's standing slalom at these Para-Alpine World Ski Championships underway, wearing bib number 13. Pallet, who was 20th in the giant slalom 24 hours ago, has a best finish of 7th on the World Cup this year, coming in the opener in Teen. Just 2 stops on the World Cup for slalom this year, Teen and Fellberg, but 2 races in Teen, 3 in Fellberg, so they've had 5 before these world champs. And again, as the first racer down, hard to tell. It's some decent looking turns from the Italian. Pallet will stop the time 1:05.3, so that's what everybody's aiming for. Thomas Gochar of Austria, the next to go, disqualified in the second run of the giant slalom yesterday. Best of third this season in the second of the two slaloms in teen. Came fifth in the second Fellberg slalom, sixth in the third one. But here, having been behind at the first bit, now has 7/10 in hand. So Gochar with some good turns in the middle. And he's gone out. Huge disappointment for Gochar. Next to race is Sun Yanlong from the People's Republic of China. Sun, 26th in the giant slalom yesterday, has a best result of 10th on the World Cup this year, coming in the second of the two team races. National champion back in his home country. He finds time in these middle turns. Took up the sport about 10 years ago. Represented his country on home snow at the Paralympic Winter Games in Beijing. And here he goes into second, 1.25 off the pace.
Second place, 125.
Aron Lindstrom of Sweden, the next to go. But he is out early doors in this first run. Disappointment for him. Next out on track, it is Italy's Federico Pellizzari. Well, that's Lindstrom. Here is Pellizzari. Good work from Pellizzari. Just 500ths off the pace. He was third at in the Super Combined at the 22 World Champs and fourth in giant slalom in 22. Yesterday he was sixth. One podium this season, second in teen. 44.49, 1.42. Great skiing from Pellizzari as he looks to take the lead away from his compatriot Luca Palla, who was first out the gate. Now Palla's time 105.3. Oh yes, Pellizzari nearly 3 seconds quicker. Great skiing from the Italian. Big smile to match. Jules Segers of France, the next to race, a bronze yesterday in the giant slalom, twice fourth on the World Cup this year, a two-time medalist at the Winter University Games in Torino, the back end of January. France actually swept the podium. In both standing races in Bardonecchia, Burnham, Segers and Boucher shuffled around on that podium, but here comes Segers now, and he is quicker than Pellizzari by 1.04 seconds. Good run from Segers. France looking to repeat the clean sweep from 2 years ago. Oscar Burnham, the next to challenge. Now Burnham, 9th in the GS. 2 days, yesterday, second in this discipline at the last edition of these World Championships down in Spain, and 101.28. How close can he get to his teammate? And he slides into third, just under 2 seconds off the pace of Segers. Well, bib 20, Jesse Keefe is a non-starter, so this is Arthur Boucher, and you can see already the defending champion, the Paralympic champion. He's undefeated this year, and Boucher looking to add yet another title to his name. He incredibly topped 100 in Courchevel, the second giant slalom I think he was in Courchevel. Won the race, and just an extraordinary athlete. And Boucher continuing to impress, and 3.28 seconds faster than Segers. It's another epic run from the Frenchman. Manuel Rachbauer of Austria, the next to challenge. Good opening turns from Rachbauer. Raced in Beijing. 3 years ago was his first Paralympic Winter Games. Rachbauer, best of 6th in the third of the 3 Feldberg runs. He was 16th yesterday, and here he slides into 5th position for the time being. Christoph Glotzner of Germany next to race. He set himself the goal of a gold medal in the Paralympic Games next year. Oh, and Glottner's gone down. Coming off that red gate, 7th yesterday. No joy as he comes off here. Let's have another look. Oh no, does he straddle? I think he knocks the gate under his ski and then slides as a result. Just got the timing wrong there. Bib 24, Robin Kusch of Switzerland. 3rd in the second of the 3 Feldberg slaloms earlier this season. Kusch didn't race the giant slalom yesterday. Now 2.13 off the pace of the second split. Kusch crosses the line, 3.06 for him. Bib 25, Davide Bendotti of Italy. Bendotti, 2 times an Italian slalom champion back in 2016 and 17. 8th in the giant slalom yesterday. His best result this season, 7th in Feldberg in the 3rd slalom there. And Bendotti slides into 6th place for the time being. Bib 26, Thomas Volger of Austria. Volger 10th in the giant slalom 24 hours ago. 1.79 at the first, extends out to 3.06 at the second. Solid from Volger to this point. Where's he going to slide in? So proceedings 5th, 4.69. So Jordan Boissin, number 27, a non-starter. So Arvid Skoglund of Sweden next out on track. Skoglund started racing 9-10 years ago, represented Sweden in Beijing. That was his first Paralympic Winter Games. He'll be hoping for more next year. 24th in the giant slalom, best of 8 on the World Cup this year, and 7th for the time being, 6.52 off the pace. Bib 29 from the United States of America, it is Spencer Wood. Spencer reclassified in 2019 and made his first World Cup podium 2 months later in Zagreb when he was 3rd in a slalom. So a seasoned racer on the Para Alpine Tour. Been to 2 Paralympic Winter Games, and Wood final few turns, and Wood slides into 12th for the time being. Bib number 30 is Takahashi Koei. Takahashi 23rd in the giant slalom 24 hours ago, and 2.12 off the pace. O'Shea way out in front, over 3 seconds quicker than the next, and then they're slightly closer, so there's room for movement if you can get yourself close. Takahashi, good work. 58 seconds is safe. Takahashi 11th, 8.29 off the pace. Yukapala, our first racer out, you can see now down in 10th. Bib number 31, Patrick Halgren of the United States of America. Competed in Beijing in 2022. And he did that to honour his brother, Lucas, who died in a motorbike accident back in 2016. And Halgren, good work. 13th position for the American. Roger Puig Davy from Andorra, the next to race. And he's out, I'm afraid. Early doors, disappointment for the Andorran. 19th in the giant slalom yesterday, and I'm afraid a DNF today. Andrew Harrogate of the United States, the next to race. Has considered in his times to sit ski to prevent injuries. But here he's 3.23 off the pace. Another who's represented the United States at Paralympic Winter Games, 2 of them now. And all right, going along nicely. Here's the second split, 39.79. How much more time has he lost? And the answer is 2.7 seconds through that middle section. Fisher's done a superb job with this track. Lots of ice. And lots of salt, to try and absorb the water with the warm conditions we had last week. And hooray, 8.32. Thomas Ververka of Czechia now on track. Ververka, 8th and 11th in the first stop of the World Cup Tour this year in team. 22nd in the giant slalom yesterday. Second it's had 2 Paralympic Winter Games. The reason I mentioned that in the first one in 2014, he raced snowboard cross, came 5th. And slides into 16th position. Tyler McKenzie of the United States, the next to go, 17th in the giant slalom yesterday. No form on the World Cup to tell you about, but these are decent turns from McKenzie. Large number of athletes from the USA in this standing category. Harahei, the quickest of them at the moment in 12th. But here comes McKenzie. How close can he get? Oh no, he's out. 4 gates from home. That's so disappointing for McKenzie. So close, but yet so far. Noah Berry of the United States, the next to go. Berry, who didn't race this. No, he did race the giant slalom yesterday. He finished 28th, 9.09 off the pace. The first split. And Berry, where's he going to slide into proceedings? He is 17th, 13.17 off the pace. 6 remain at the top of the hill in this standing category. The first of them is Aoki Yamamoto. And Aoki, who was a non-disabled Alpine racer before his accident in 2019, aims to win a medal in 26 and 30, but getting very late in the line, and in the end skis out. Remy Matzi of Belgium, the next to race. '27th in the giant slalom yesterday, but 9th and 12th in the 2 teen slaloms. Representing Belgium at the Para-Athletics, the European Championships in 2014, 2016 and 2018. And these are good turns from Matzi. .25 off the pace at the second split. Matzi just wants to stay on course, get himself back for run 2. We'll have a cleaner track as an earlier starter. And Matzi is home and dry. 20.90 seconds off the pace, 18th position for him. Sun Hong Sheng from the People's Republic of China, but I'm afraid Sun is out. Didn't see where his error was. Okay, let's have another look. Just gets the line run through that verticale, so disappointing for Sun. No Biambadoj of Mongolia, so this is Luka Bilka of Serbia. Now Bilka, 29th in the giant slalom yesterday. Picking his way through that vertical section. "34 years of age, the Serbian racer, racing in the LW4 class, and his list points have him as the lowest ranked racer in this field, although Harun Mut, who's last out the gate, has no points. But Bilka is back for run 2. 19th position for him. And last out the start hutch for this opening run of the men's standing slalom, it is Harun Mut of Turkey, but I'm afraid Harun has skied out. Let's have a look. Yeah, the verticale just coming at him too quickly. So I'm afraid he is a DNF. So the 30 that started, 11 are DNFs, or I think 9 are DNFs and 2 are non-starters. Tyler McKenzie was disqualified. And so we have 19 running in the second run. Jules Segers of France in 3rd place, with Robin Couche, the nephew of the famous Swiss Alpine racer Didier. He's in 2nd. But the man who has dominated this class, this category, for a while now, Arthur Bauchet, is just at the moment in a league of his own, out in front by over 3 seconds. So confirmation then of the standings after the first run of the men's slalom. Arthur Bauchet from Couche and Segers, Pellizzari of Italy in 4th, and Luka Bilka of Serbia will get us underway in run 2 later on today. We'll work our way through to Bauchet. He'll be last of the standing athletes to race. Confirmation of the disqualification of McKenzie. 3 non-starters and the rest non-finishers. So that leaves us with one more category, the men's sitting category, coming straight up. 26 racers, and well, the ones to look out for, they're all there in the middle. 4, 5, 6. Cam Schuller of the Netherlands, who's won 3 of the 5 slaloms this year. Jesper Pedersen, who is the defending champion and Paralympic champion. He goes with bib number 47. Rene Di Silvestro, the winner of the giant slalom yesterday, goes with bib 51. And Zoran Jovanovski of Macedonia rounds us off bib number 68, number 26 out of the start hut in this sitting category. So getting us underway from the United States is Ravi Drugan. And Drugan is on his way. Chance for us to have a look at this pattern of gates for the sit skiers and how they deal with it. Opening pattern of gates set by Hege Moller of Norway. The American coach Ron Pearl will set the second pattern of gates. Apologies, Justus Wolf of Germany actually sets the second pattern of gates, but here is Drugan, who was a mono skier at 4 editions of the X Games, winning bronze in 2015. And nice work from Drugan. 14th yesterday in the giant slalom. Drugan looking to set the time in this slalom race. Niels de Langen of the Netherlands, the next to go. He has 3 World Championship medals to his name. De Langen, second in giant slalom in 2019, third in slalom and super combined in 2022. And he's flying here. De Langen, 4.86 quicker than Drugan through the second split. But he's out. Oh, sorry, he's 7.83 seconds faster. Sorry. Niels de Langen, good work. Liang Zilu from the People's Republic of China took up the sport as an 11-year-old, so been racing now for 10 years. 1.6 off the pace of de Langen. And good turns here from Liang. 59.17, the leading time of de Langen. How close can Liang get? 4.2 seconds off the pace. Jeroen Kamscher of the Netherlands, the next to go. Kamscher won 3 of the 5 slaloms on tour this year. What a rivalry he has with Jesper Pedersen of Norway, who's next out the start hut. But Kamscher was the first Dutch athlete to win a Paralympic medal of any colour in Alpine skiing. He was also the first Dutch para-athlete to win a world title when he won the Super Combined in 2017. But Kamscher, a 5-time world champion in 2019, finds himself second, 0.93 off the pace of his compatriot de Langen. Jesper Pedersen now of Norway, the next to challenge. Pedersen, the defending Paralympic and world champion in this discipline. He was second in the giant slalom yesterday and 0.15 off the pace at the first bit. He's now a second quicker than De Langen. Pedersen absolutely flying. He was the world champion on home snow in 2022 in downhill slalom and giant slalom, and here in Slovenia he looks to take the lead away from De Langen, just a couple of gates from home, and Pedersen is nearly a second faster than De Langen and 1.8 faster than Kamscher. That's a great run. Suzuki Takeshi of Japan now, the next out on track. Suzuki, huge amount of experience for him. Slalom champion in Sochi at the Paralympic Games in 2014. World Slalom champion in 11 and 15 as well. Coming back after time away from the sport, 5.46 off the pace for the Japanese veteran. Victor Perel of France, the next to challenge. Now Perel was 9th yesterday in the giant slalom. And you can see the different techniques. We had the likes of Kamscher and Pedersen getting the outriggers up to knock the poles out the way. Here you can see Perel just taking it on across the chest. And Perel gets to within 2.7 seconds, fourth for him. Magnus Valo Belton of Norway, the next to challenge. Now the Norwegian, 3 top 6 finishes on the World Cup this season. Best of 4th in the second of the teen slaloms, 5th in the first of the Feldberg ones, and 6th in the third one. .06 off the pace at the second split. Good turns from Belgium. 4th, 2.23 off the pace. René Di Silvestro of Italy, the next to challenge, winner of the giant slalom yesterday. He was a silver medalist at the last World Para-Alpine World Ski Championships, and he's in touch here, 0.66 off the pace. The gap between first and second, 0.95, 1.88 to Kamscher in third, so this is a real chance for Di Silvestro to get himself in the mix here for the second run. The Italian, how close can he get? And the answer is really close, 0.4 off the pace. That's an excellent opening run. Josh Hanlon now of Australia, next out on track. Now let's see how Hanlon goes here. 1.60 off the pace. Hanlon competed his first Paralympic Games in Beijing. He was 8th in slalom back in 2022. 3.2 off the pace of the first split. 3.2 the second. And 7th, 4.10 off the pace for the Australian Josh Hanlon. Chen Liang from the People's Republic of China. And Chen didn't finish the first run yesterday. Twice 5th on the World Cup this season, both of them coming in teen. Chen has had success at national games back home in China. Maybe here 7th, 3.62 off the pace. Lou Bradagand from France, the next to go. The Frenchman also races all-terrain wheelchairs and competes in para-athletics at a national level. So Bradagand throwing himself into sport. Had some decent results on the World Cup this season. 3 podiums in 5 races. 3rd and 2nd in teen. And then drew a blank in the first run in Felberg, but then 3rd and 5th in the next 2. But here just running a little wide in the line and having to make up a lot of ground to make the next control gate. And you suspect that's probably going to add to his deficit. Oh no! Oh, 1 gate from home. He goes down. Just too hot on the blue gate. And I'm afraid it's going to be a DNF for the Frenchman. Huge disappointment for Bradagand. See here, he was late, and then he's doing so much turning after the gate, he can't keep it upright. Canada's Kurt Oatway, the next to challenge. Now Oatway, 6th yesterday in the giant slalom and 8th here after the first run. Good work from Oatway. Nicholas Biscay Hudson from Chile next to go, 11th in the giant slalom yesterday. 2-time medalist at the Paralympic, oh no, I'm very late there. It's a 2-time medalist, sorry, at the Torino FIS Winter Games, where the para skiers raced alongside the Alpine racers. .31 off the pace for Biscay Hudson, with the bottom third of the challenge to come. Where's he going to slide into proceedings? 13th, 9.04 off the pace for Biscay Hudson. Bib 57 is Mori Daiki of Japan. Mori 4th yesterday in the giant slalom, but he missed out by some margin. 4th in both runs. The top 3 actually not changing in yesterday's giant slalom run. So I think Pedersen will be hoping that stays the same. 12th place for Mori, just below his compatriot by 1/100th of a second. Li Xiang from the People's Republic of China, the next to go. Li was 19th yesterday in the giant slalom. And now we go on FIS points order. Top 15 drawn randomly. And so Li, the best of those outside the top 15 according to their FIS points. So can he make some inroads to the top seeds? 58.22. And Li goes into 15th, so he can't, because of course we had Razdagan who was disqualified. So Li 15th, but he's back for run 2. Bib 59, Tijn Spekschneider of the Netherlands. And Spekschneider, respectable 15th place yesterday. And these are nice turns from the Dutchman. Strong Dutch sitting team. De Langen and Kamster, his teammates, who sit 3rd and 4th currently. Oh no! Does well to rescue himself, and he's still upright somehow. Good emergency turns from the Dutchman, but it's going to put a lot of time onto his clock. Oh no! Well, that will be okay. He crossed the line. 16th, 10.48. Bib number 60, Dino Sokolovic from Croatia. Now Sokolovic was a non-finisher in the first run yesterday. You can see the rut starting to form, and if you don't find the start of that rut in the sit ski, you can get bounced all over the place. But the rig now looking a lot smoother than it was. Sokolovic weaves his way through that verticale section. Now getting to work on the swinging offsets. Here comes the second time split. 4.68 off the pace. Sokolovic doing a good job. Got to keep the concentration up here. We've seen a number of athletes go out inside of the finish. And Sokolovic isn't one of those, and he goes 13th, so he makes up some places. Good work, good skiing from Sokolovic. Christoph Dammer from Switzerland, the next to challenge. 16th yesterday, his best result, coming in the second of the 3 Feldberg races, when he was 10th, excuse me. Seven remain at the top of the hill. After Damas's run, now the second split, 2.85 at the first. How much time is added to this? Quite a significant amount, 6.92. Over 4 seconds for Dama in that middle sector, creating huge angles on that left turn. Nice closing turns though from Dama. 3 gates from home, and he's across the line in 1:08.93, 18th position for Christoph Dummer. Bibs 62, Matthew Brewer of the United States of America, a former snowboard competitor before his impairment. Oldest of the racers in this sitting category, born in 1975. Competed at his first Paralympic Winter Games back in Beijing, and still going strong, Brewer. '50 this year, and doing a good job on these middle turns. Finds himself 6.88 off the pace. And you can see that rig starting to bounce as he gets late in the line. He's got it back now as Brewer. Good closing turns from the American, and he is going to slide into 17th position, 10.36 off the pace. Pascal Christian, the next to go, 12th yesterday in the giant slalom. Joined the Swiss Army High Performance Program back in 2021. One of the first wheelchair athletes to be asked. And some good turns for Pascal Christen. .39.87 is the time of our leader Pedersen at that second split, and his time is safe. It's all about these last couple of starters trying to make as much of an inroad as possible. In terms of list points, they're pretty tightly stacked, so there's room for movement for sure. And Christen doing some nice work on these closing turns. Christen, where's he going to slide into proceedings? Oh yes, respectable 14th place for Christen, 8 seconds off the pace. 64 is Zach Williams of the United States of America. Now Williams didn't get to the bottom of the first run yesterday. One of 4 non-finishers in run 1 of the giant slalom, but putting in some good opening turns on the middle section. 4.23 off the pace at the first split. Williams picking his way down this middle section. .71 separate 1 from 20. We've had 20 finishes so far. Williams, the 22nd racer out the gate, so just the one non-finisher. Dagand of France. You're getting to grief on this penultimate gate, but no problems for Williams. He's down 13.03, 21st for him. Peter Drahos of Czechia, the next to go, was 11th in the slalom at the World Champs back in 2022 and 21st yesterday in giant slalom. This season had a seventh in the second of the two teen slaloms. And just finding the ruts in the line a little tricky on a couple of those gates through that middle section. Has the ski running more smoothly this time. Trahos. 9.23 off the pace at the final split. Closing turns now for him. And Trahos is going to slot into. Well, his goggles have come out. The lens of his goggle got flicked out on that red gate. Trahos 20 seconds. 14.15 off the pace. Bib number 66, Sukahara Shintaro from Japan. The first of the three remaining athletes at the top of the hill. Now Sukahara 18th in the giant slalom yesterday. And has a best result on the World Cup Tour of 8th, which he achieved in Fellberg in run 2. .26 off the pace. And at time split 2, 5.7. That's very respectable. There's an opportunity here for perhaps a top 15. If he can keep these closing turns precise and clean. Oh no! Still on track. Can he make the blue gate? The red gate, sorry. Yes, he can. So, disappointment for Sukahara that all the momentum has been sucked out of his run, but he will be back for run 2. And 23rd for Sukahara. '67, Robert Enigal of the United States of America. The next two challenge, he was 20th in the giant slalom 24 hours ago. Took up the sport in 2015. Golden Retriever breeder back home in the United States of America. Raced in Beijing. That was his first Paralympic Winter Games. Been doing a decent job on these turns here. .80 off the pace at the first split. Up to 9.81 now for the American. .23 racers have finished. They're separated by 15.58 seconds. So Enigal, can he find himself a spot inside the top 20? It's running away from him. 22nd. So just misses out on the top 20, but an early start for him in run 2. Last out the start hutch, Zoran Jovanovski of Macedonia. Jovanovski didn't race yesterday. No, he didn't race in the giant slalom yesterday. And the only racer in the sitting category with no list points. Jovanovski. Great experience for him this. Difficult conditions. Soft snow, not too dissimilar to Fellberg. But we are very low here. Finish at just 595 meters. Start up at 780. And Jovanovski, 12.55 off the pace at the first bit. He will be 25th after this run, if he can negotiate these final gates. Here's the final split. And Jovanovski still upright, still going, and tantalizingly close now to a second run. Jovanovski, couple of gates from home. Here he comes now, 4 gates from home. And he's successfully negotiated them. Well done. And the clock stops at 1:54 dead, 55.78 off the pace for Zoran Jovanovski. So the 3-2-1, Niels de Langen of the Netherlands in 3rd place after the first run, the best of the Dutch athletes. René Di Silvestro of Italy looking for the tech double, having taken the gold in the giant slalom yesterday. Needs to find 0.4 of a second over the defending world champion. In fact, he's the defending, or will be the defending Paralympic champion next year. So Jesper Pedersen is who they're all aiming for. So Pedersen, 0.4 quicker than Di Silvestro. De Langen in 3rd, Kamscher in 4th. He's got a lot of work to do on that second run. You'd expect the medalists can come from those top 4. Belton in 5th, Perel 6th. Kurt Oatway, the best of the North Americans. Josh Hanlon in 9th. Good ski from the Australian. And of the 26 that started run 1 on this men's sitting race at 25 finish. Okay, so that's it for run 1. We are going to be back at 1 o'clock local time, 12 o'clock UTC or GMT. Do hope you can join us to decide where the final medals for the men go at this FIS Para Alpine World Ski Championships. We'll see you shortly for run 2. Bye bye for now.